One of the things that I get a lot of clients asking about is we want to shoot our podcast series in our studio or in our showroom. The challenge with that is if we are genuinely shooting in your space, we have so many variables that we're going to begin to counter. If there's people coming in and out of the office, if you have a client that's meeting with your sales team 3 offices away, we don't have control of those audio backgrounds. If you're like nailing down an anchor point about your brand or a compelling story of your personal life, the last thing you need is hearing Sally in the other room going, hey, I'm so glad I brought you guys bonbons. Like, we don't need that to be layered into what you're saying, right? So the power of the green screen is we get to take your backdrop and make it essentially your brand's best self, if you will. So if your brand and your website is bright, airy, it's crisp, it's clean, it feels spacious and expansive, we can use a backdrop that feels like we shot at a penthouse, crazy executive space. We're not restrained as well to, if we are shooting in a tighter space, you know, if we're building a set like this in your offices, and let's say we are shooting in a conference room, we don't have to make it look like a conference room. We can make it feel super elevated. You'll see in some of these clips I'm layering over, I built out 6 different sets. And when I say a set, I mean pulling different spaces, adding the effects of the slider rail. You'll see in this camera angle here that the camera's tracking in that space. So this gives you full control, minimal distractions, whether we're hosting and we're facilitating in a space that we set up for you that's nearby your office, or if we are actually reserving a conference room, it's a more easeful setup for your entire team versus just the people involved in this part of the infrastructure that you're producing. In terms of being a brand that has multiple departments, and if we are shooting in your space, it's not a conflict of interest of, oh, we have to shut down your entire showroom because we're gonna block it out for 8 hours. Like, what's the cost of closing shop to get a clean space, versus we come in with our cameras beforehand, pre-production. We're gonna grab still images of the space where your team gets to dial it in full, vibey. It's like exactly the way, your best self visually, right? We can take those still images or video clips and then we're gonna superimpose them with a green screen environment.